Welcome to a live stream. What's my channel? What they don't teach you in school. I'm Larry Chang. How are you? Negative people. I used to think that negative people were trying to do damage. That is not true. Negative people are self-sabotaging themselves, and you're just getting in the way of their self-destruction. They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to find safety in their brain, which is it's intuitive to them, but it's counterintuitive to how easy the perspective is, which is the more negative you are, the more negative your future results are going to be. But when you're committing the negative person act, what's going on is you're in essence saying, I want to stay safe. This is written about in The Mountain of You, where there's actually no such thing as self-sabotage while you're self-sabotaging, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to blanket yourself in a protective layer of negativity, so that way you're reducing your risk. Is The Mountain of You, Brianna's book, DJ'd into Joe Dispenza's book? I think we just did. Did we just do something magical by forgiving negative people? Yeah. Can we take a video on people that are negative and then become super? Negative people with LOL, the negative talk, hecklers, hecklefish reminds us to do what?
Please see aliens, please see aliens, please see aliens.
Where we could be slightly laugh out loud towards negative people that might attempt to heckle us. This is why we are the sum total of the 5 people that we watch the most on YouTube. This is where we have 5 main channels, this being potentially one of them, of, hey, this is content that the algorithm predicts that I will like. What happens in an instance of three or 4 of the feeds and videos that we select are default negative? We have to code our own brain with programming our brain. Programming our brain to do what? To go from video to YouTube video, realizing there's a doom scroll. The reason they call it a scroll of doom is being negative has a certain allure to it. Look at how bad these people have it. Therefore, you shouldn't feel so bad. Does this improve our self-improvement? It does not. Does this cause negative people to drag down other people that are attempting to be positive? Have you heard of the analogy of crabs in a pot? there's crabs that are in a pot or a high bucket. Visualize that, where the crabs are obviously trying to get free. Jacob Tamatia says hi. Welcome, Jacob. Crabs in a bucket. In order for a crab to leave the bucket, it's going to do what it knows how to do, which is pull the crabs that are nearly out of the bucket back into the bucket. Are these crabs in collaboration in attempting to leave the bucket? No. Do crabs collaborate and work as a team? Also no. Which is why this video is called Negative People, LOL. Jacob Tamatia says, oh wow, are you a teacher? I'm more of a cohort mentor. Cohort meaning you teach me something and then we collaboratively move forward and improve. Where the whiteboard behind me talks about things that I used to think. Things that I used to think, things that I used to think. And this component is negative people, because I used to think that negative people were actively trying to not hurt me, but actively trying to ruin other people's day. Negative people are to be forgiven, and we, in forgiving negative people, we can improve our once in a while negativity to break the habit of our old self. Everyone's sometimes positive, everyone's sometimes negative. When we come across a negative person, are we able to forgive them? Are we able to be thankful of a negative person? This is the crux of the value in this video. Because when you're thankful for a negative person, everything changes. Let me give you an example. I do YouTube lives. Hi, I'm Larry Chang, and I have a channel on What They Don't Teach You in School. Sometimes people will troll. Sometimes people will come into the comments and try to heckle. Similar to a fish that heckles and a fish that talks.
Oh, don't be a sheep.
Interesting. Because hecklefish talks about not being a sheep. Are you being shepherded by people that are trying to capture your attention via negativity? Negativity has an allure to it. That's why some people can't look away from the train wreck. That's why some people get attention for sharing bad news. That's the dynamic of people that talk about people versus, which is mediocre, it's gossip. Whereas people that talk about ideas, which is what you and I are sharing right now, is we're not gossiping about people. We're gossiping in a brain-to-brain improvement collaboration, because this video is called Negative People, LOL. Another example to expand your insight into laugh out loud negative people, which is Stevie K Official chiming in. That was the realest thing I've heard all week. Thank you, Steven. I hope that I can also learn from you things that you care about. So to catch people up that are just coming in, it's a brain improvement strategy to deal with negative people. It's forgiving negative people. It's being thankful of hecklers. Another example is comedy inside of a comedy club where the laughter is what? Is tough to do. Why? Because you're in a comedy club. Why? Because there's only 79 people in a room that's engineered with a capacity for 200. That literally means that the room is half empty. So what we're looking at is once in a while, an audience member wanting attention. How do they get this attention? How do they get this attention? That's a question for the comments. They get the attention by heckling. They get the attention by doing what? By being negative. When we're rewarded for distributing negative news, now you understand why it's laugh out loud negative people. 大家好，我也是中国人. I just said, everybody welcome, I'm a Chinese cowboy. Bruce Taylor, civil disobedience. Will you expand on that? Will you expand on that? DT Vibe says, hello. With the comments, why don't we, instead of being non sequitur, which is disconnected from the prior things, why don't we maintain a focus? What's our focus? Negative people, how do we deal with them? Negative people, how do we laugh out loud while helping negative people? Is this the realest video that we've experienced? Are we dropping in gay spam and Christian spam? That's okay. We're going to address that too. We're going to address that too. As we put a 10-second timeout on negativity, Larry Chang just deleted a message for 10 seconds. Just deleted a message for 10 seconds. Because we just joined, and this is us catching up, which is, what are we catching up on? We're catching up on listening before we drop spam. Because negative people, LOL. By dropping in spam, you're showing a disdain, not for me. I'm thankful for your energy, even if it's negative. That's why this video is called Negative People, LOL. Have you guys heard when a person says, I drink your tears? What that person's doing is addressing the fact that they're leveraging your hardship. Dare I say, negative people, LOL. Anastasia Zimbabwe says, where are you from? Which is the world of the Republic of Texas. Am I negative for good compliments at an appropriate time? No, not at all. Not at all negative. Not at all negative. Very positive. In fact, all are welcome. So this is why this video is called Negative People, LOL. Not everything's about us. It could just be about attention to ourselves, attention seeking, attention deprived, attention deficit disorder. The doom scroll is engineered to try to take over our brain, where we're not talking about things that are sexual in nature, where a damaged brain would be, hey, I'm going to say something shocking. I can't believe that Larry Chang just pinned my message. Where we're able to repair our brain from default negative people in an onslaught of brain variants. That is not word salad. This is me saying things that are original, genuine, and emotionally vulnerable, which is negative people are to be forgiven. Negative people, which this room is so positive, right? And that's the effort is to curate a positive room, to truly welcome everybody, because I want to be a positive person that's welcoming and not talking about sexually related issues is useful. Why? Because we don't always have to DJ sexual energy into production. Do we maintain our own attention to self-improvement? This is why negative people cause us to mentor average down or cohort average down. Have you guys heard the saying that we are the sum total of the 5 people that we watch most on YouTube? Maybe you haven't heard it because I just said it. Let me repeat that because it might be the first thing that you write down ever from a YouTube video, which is, no, there's no workshop, no, there's no secret paywall, and there's definitely not a Patreon to go give me money on. It's just this video, us becoming awesome. Let me repeat what I said earlier, which will help everybody understand what in the world is going on in a Larry Chang video with the channel What They Don't Teach You in School. This is what's going on. We are the sum total of the 5 people that the YouTube algorithm gives us in our algorithmic. We open up the app and certain content gets shoved into our feed. This is programming our own brain, and this is understanding what this video is about, which is negative people, LOL. There's YouTube watching, and then there's YouTube content creation. I'm going to guess that the majority of you are content consumers. No pressure, no pressure. But the positive pressure, which is risk-free, is not to be a content creator. Well, if you want to talk about that, we can. Next. But to be a private content maker. Private content maker, Larry, what are you talking about? I'm talking about making content for the most important person in the world. And that's you. Is this journaling? Yes. Am I the 5,000th person that's been an advocate of a journal? Yes. This is you writing something down for the most important person in your world, which is you. This is what Kimberly Palmer, my friend, who wrote a book on You Incorporated. Not content creation to influence and program other people. which is what I'm doing. I'm talking about content creation for future you to read what present you just learned. And then also notice, this video is called Negative People, LOL. After dropping that fortune cookie morsel-sized consumable, notice how the like count did not change. I don't need likes, comments, or what are YouTube subscribers, YouTube content, like content, whatever the slogan that just rolls off of other YouTube influencers. But notice how the like button is constipated, where you don't want to touch it, which is similar to the button for pressing the sound on, but then not actually opening the video, where if you touch your finger in the slightly incorrect spot, bam, you get an ad. How annoying is that, right? But that's how you guys are with locating the like button, not on YouTube, but you locating the like button for, oh, I don't know if I want to have this positive shiitake in my life. Oh, I don't like how he has a cowboy hat. He's probably bald underneath his head, right? You say stuff like that. You say stuff like that, and then it's a protection mechanism. It's a protection mechanism where I don't want to journal one thing. I don't want to, whatever you don't want to do. Where, what are we doing here? We're doing something that is, dare I say, the most impactful thing that you will do all month, maybe all of 2025. And because we're being positive, I want this video to be the most impactful video of 2025, which is this. What if you make $1,000 from this video called Negative People, LOL? $1,000? $1,000? How do I make $1,000? Is he gonna sell me a workshop? Oh, this is $0, which is more of a mind screw. It's more of a mind trip. It's more of a mind fuck. Why? Because this costs $0. This should make you 1,000. How are we gonna get that? By stepping towards a new destiny. Is that some cheesy, positive cheese? Maybe, if you're negative. But if you're positive, stepping towards a new destiny is chapters 9 through 14. Is this guy trying to sell me a book? Oh no, you can use AI to connect to chapters 9 through 14. You're welcome. I literally just gave you at least $700. Why? Because there is no chapter 15. Let me show you the value of AI and AI. This is Joe Dispenza's book, Financial Disclosure, I Am His Acquaintance. How did I meet him? I read his book, really good. Evolve Your Brain, You Are the Placebo, Becoming Supernatural, and this book, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza and the AI machine, thank you for writing a good book. Thank you for the selfie. Thank you for speaking in Austin, Texas, which is coincidentally where I'm broadcasting from. Chapter 15, you guys are welcome for $700. which is Joe Dispenza has not yet written chapter 15. Look, chapters 1 through 5 is how you are wired. Chapter 6, 7, 8 is meditation and your brain on repair mode. Chapters 9 through 14 is stepping towards a new destiny. But Joe Dispenza falls slightly short of, hey, this is how to use AI to step towards a new destiny. This video is you making money on stepping towards a new destiny. Is this the first time you're going to take notes?
What I said.
That is what I said, which is we can take notes to do what? We can take notes in order to extrapolate chapter 15, Joe Dispenza, where how are we going to read the book now? We're going to read this book voraciously. Super Cool Render says, LMAO, laugh my ass off. What the fish? If I listen closely, this guy isn't saying, shit, thank you for your negativity because this video is worth $0 to you. And what'll bake your noodle is, Jose Leal, somebody is going to make $70,000 on this video. And they'll say, oh yeah, I met Larry Chang on a YouTube Live. This is how I make 550K with no likes, some single digit number of likes, no subs, some subscriber total less than 500K, and negative comments. Likes, comments, subscribes. That's what YouTubers say. Likes, comments, and subscribes. Whereas, do I need your likes? No. I need you to like yourself. I need you to like yourself. Bruce Taylor, good job. Jose, what was that again? Exactly. If you listen closely, this guy isn't saying shit. I'm going to pin that tweet. Why? Because it's negative people, LOL. Negative people, LOL. This is why listening is dangerous. Because what if you heard this seemingly cis male dropping dad-like wisdom, and then you said, wow, thank you for this positive burst, and thank you for chapter 15, Joe Dispenza. But why can't you say thank you, and why do you stay negative? It's because your dad thought that fornicating other women was a better idea than taking care of you, right? That's sins of the father. That's how well I listen, which is why this video is called Negative People, LOL. Because you're judging me on the fact that you think I'm 6'5", heterosexual, and possibly possessing a penis, right? But what you don't realize is that I'm a transgender because you didn't ask me what my pronouns were. Is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be funny?
I will be a strict but fair lord of these lands, and my serfs will come to idolize me.
Hecklefish wants you to idolize him. I just want you to step towards a new destiny. What a great question, Bruce. What a great question, Bruce. let's go over these. Bruce, A+, buddy. What you're doing is amazing. What is Bruce doing? He is reading while being incredibly positive. Bullet point number 1, never nervous. Is being never nervous possible? It actually is, because if I am nervous and hesitant, I hurt not just me, I hurt you. Do I want to hurt you? I do not want to hurt you. Why? Because this is not big donkey BS. This is if I am not good at communicating the things that are in my brain, you guys are negatively impacted. That's why I command myself to be nervous less. Cold approach. Do you get nervous talking to females because you're on a 3-year cold streak of involuntary celibacy? And I'm not talking about fornication if you're going to be chiming in with Christian spam. I'm talking about first base, making out with hot women and then cold approaching hot women in a restaurant or a street or a streets of New York, which is toughest place to cold open because cold approach, which is going to say hi to a person that has not made eye contact with you, cold approach. Talking to a person who might slap a SA charge on you, sexual assault, might say, hey, get away from me, I don't like you. That's what cold approach is. I used to think that cold approach was hard. It still is hard, which is why I'm using bumblebees to turn around a company called Bumble. Problem: the company used to be worth less than $1 billion. Now it's back over $1 billion. What I say is money, and you are making shit off of this. Thank you. Thank you for your negativity, LOL. So, this is the truth about money. If you think that this video is $0, you're right. If you think that this video needs a second viewing in order for you to watch this video and ask yourself during the video, how do I make $275,000? Because you're watching this video as a money virgin. You've never watched a video and made money on it. If me bringing up money offends you, you're trying to be negative with other people that are going to make $5,000 off of a $0 video. Look at how hard I try to focus you on Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, chapters 9 through 14, stepping towards a new destiny, as I come up with original ideas. Bullet point number 3. I have to present this content in a fortune cookie-like manner. Why? Because a lot of you guys are pretty smart, super smart, but you're working with a functional IQ of 88. Why? Because you're distracted. Why? Why is the IQ below 100? This is basically retarded, which is your negativity has caused you to be dumb. Your negativity has caused you to be forcibly suppressed. It's where you play dumb. When you play dumb and say, oh, I don't understand anything of this, what this Chinese cowboy is saying, now what you're doing is you're programming yourself where, oh, it's just word salad. Try listening and try being able to improve. Because then what happens is magical things. Then what happens is you read a book with the goal. I read this book with specific goals. I'm not encouraging you to go from 0.0 books read to 1.0 book read. This is not what this video is on. This video is on, can you write 3 lines on a piece of paper with a pen? Because I've spoon-fed fortune cookie sized messages because everyone loves fortune cookies. Let me part from you with a handful of fortune cookie sized tidbits. Negative people are hilarious. Why? Because we literally will be drinking their tears. I started a company. People were negative towards the company. I made so much money from the company. What am I like in person? I look like I could be good at school. I'm in engineering school, and I'm studying entrepreneurship at business conferences. You would think it's just positive, 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 but somehow people still think and say negative things. You want some entertainment? Type in Larry Chang into Google. I could have suppressed those things via Sergey Brin and Larry Page. I could have suppressed and gamified YouTube. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, friend and friend, YouTube co-founder. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, I'm Larry Chang. You think that this is famous person name dropping. It is not. It's not name dropping when you've never heard of these people, right? What we're doing is I'm showing you that no matter how successful and positive of a person are, people will find negative things. Consent to talk about something real. I give you consent, Larry Chang. I said no to a super hot Asian girl. I kind of just don't like Asian girls, okay? Kind of feels like I'm sleeping with my first cousin or a sister, okay? That's just weird, right? And also, a lot of people in my family, they're super hot. So, this Asian girl comes in ready to go. Like, she is lathered up, wanting to intercourse immediately at the beginning of a party. I say, oh my gosh, 1, you're gorgeous. 2, I just got here. This party just started. Which is, you can't say no to a woman because saying no just makes her want to say yes more, right? So I don't even say no. I say yes. But in 3 hours when the party ends. Fair, right? That's not even a no. That's a yes and later. What does she do? She drops a ginormous Quora post talking about how she literally tries to write a restaurant review for me. What are people saying pre-recorded? I want to pin that. Oh, perfect. I want to pin that. You think that you not influencing me with negative things makes me pre-recorded. Oh my God, hilarious. Hilarious, which is Simon Tiny says Jessica was white. Right? Yeah, this Simon's alluding to a previous story of a date that I had that was dating another guy. Not dating, but getting hit on actively by another guy. What did I do? I stayed positive. What did I do? I stayed amazingly positive. Pre-recorded homo op? What? This is obvious. This what? Thomas Barnhouse. I'm going to show it and pin it. Show and pin. That should be the new YouTube slogan. How are you guys not liking? It's hilarious. Show and pin. Neg. Oh my God. I'm gonna write that down because that's hilarious. Like, comment, and subscribe. Who needs likes and comments? Losers. What'd I say? Show, pin, neg. Yes. I love that. You know what? We peaked because I learned from you guys, which is my new slogan, which is show, pin, neg. Neg like negative, show like this message is hidden. This message is hidden. I'm going to wrap like conclude with putting the Christian person in timeout. Why can't you handle live? What? This live is going amazing. This live is amazing. This live is amazing. This live is literally amazing. Yeah, that's why I'm saying thank you. Thank you for your negativity, and thank you for my new slogan, which is show, pin, neg. Neg, show, pin. Father Lord, thank you for this room, and thank you for new friends, and thank you for new mentors. Thank you also for negativity, because we are getting better. Thank you for the homo psyop and the Christian spam. Are we gonna pray the gay away? We can try. Let's forgive the people who were themselves victimized when they were young and they perpetuated the cycle. Let's forgive them as we become supernatural, as we become better humans, as we step towards a new destiny. Father Lord, thank you for chapter 15, which is a chapter that we're going to concoct based on chapters 9 through 14, breaking the habit of being yourself. Thank you for Hecklefish, because who can co-author a prayer